Sagittarius, welcome to your reading for the week of April 25th. And looks like you're going to be dealing with a lot of people this week. Let's see here. You start off with the King of Hearts. And the King of Hearts represents working really hard. I think on one hand, you're working really hard. On the other hand, I think that there's a great deal of love on the table for a lot of you if you're looking for love. I think that you have the King of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts. So a lot of you could be having people coming in and, offering to, date you or whatever you're looking for here. So there's like a lot of love going on. And this is also a great card for like doing good things for people. So a lot of you could be like, doing some nice things for people, doing some more humanitarian things this week, which is nice. And this is also the card of your father as well. It's interesting. You have the Queen of Hearts and the King of Hearts. So for some of you, you might be receiving advice from your father under the King of Hearts, and it would be advice that you'd want to take. For others of you, you might be receiving advice from your mother, and it would also be advice you'd want to take. So if you're hearing advice from even like somebody who's just like a father figure to you, might not even be your actual father, but somebody you consider a father or somebody you consider a mother, it would be a good week to take their advice. Having said all of that, this could also be like a higher up taking not taking advantage, but taking notice of you and wanting to help you out and work. It's a very good card for that. Same with the Queen of Hearts. It's almost exactly the same as the King of Hearts. A lot of you could be dealing with like a higher up or something like that. This is also a great card for those of you who are looking to have children. If you're like trying to have a child at this time, it would be a good week to keep trying for that. It's a great card for pregnant women and anything having to do with children and being a mother as well. So it's great for energy for that. It's also a very romantic card. If you're in a relationship, it could feel, and especially with this combination of the King of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, it could be a very romantic week for a lot of you under these two cards. Next, you have the Six of Diamonds. Six of Diamonds, planting a lot of seeds, getting a lot of things going. So again, we could take that literally, and we could say that children are on the table for a lot of you this week, especially if you're looking to have children. I would actually say if you're not looking to have children, then take the necessary precautions, because there's a lot of fertility going on here, to say the least. But the Six of Diamonds is also about taking responsibility. It's funny because I think there's been a very strong financial responsibility message for you, Sagittarius, for weeks now. Now that I'm thinking about it, like last week, the week before, I think it was all about looking at your finances and planning your finances out. So a lot of you might be doing that. Maybe it's because you're having a child. Maybe a lot of you are getting more financially responsible because you're having children or something along those lines. This can also be repayment back to you as well. So if any of you have like loaned anybody money or anything like that, you could be seeing a repayment on that as well. It can also be a card of like money that's really well spent. Like, it can be a card that comes up during one of those situations where maybe you don't have a lot of money at the moment, but maybe your car has something wrong with it, and it would be better to get it fixed now, because if you don't get it fixed now, then it will cost you like 10 times as much down the road. So it's kind of like you don't really want to spend the money, but you kind of have to, and it's better that you do it now instead of waiting for those things to spring up later. Next, you have the King of Spades. A lot of people, I think a lot of you could be very social this week and socializing quite a lot, maybe going to parties and things like that, but also dealing with bosses and higher ups and managers and even mentors. Like anybody you consider a mentor in your life, you could be hearing some advice from these mentors this week. I mean, like I said, you got king, queen, and another king showing up here. So definitely mentors, anybody you look up to as well, could be coming in with some really good advice. The King of Spades is also a great card for justice. And you have two sixes here. You have the Six of Diamonds, you have the Six of Clubs coming up here at the end. So a lot of you could be seeing some very like karmic justice, a lot of karma coming back to you, and a lot of good things returning to you that maybe you haven't seen in a while. Like maybe you've been putting energy into something. You've been really trying to get something to work. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's a new spiritual movement, whatever you're trying to do. And maybe it just hasn't been getting anywhere. With the two sixes and this king, you could finally start to see some like justice and some return on whatever it is that you're working on. And you have the Six of Clubs finally. And the Six of Clubs is all about growth and success. It's a very successful card. Under most card reading systems, this card is called success. And old time readers would say you will be successful, and that's it. But it's also a card of intuition and kind of like seeing the future. And it's also a card of like knowing what you need to know for the future as well. Like you might get a feeling that you might need to learn something about something and you learn about it randomly, and then in the future you're like tested on that, and because you learned about it, you already know. So it's like kind of one of those weird cards of like having knowledge for the future, maybe saving it for the future, but just having it at the right time as well. So interesting card there, but looks like a great week. Should be a lot of fun because there's a lot of people involved here, and also very successful. So really nice week. Thank you for watching, and enjoy it.